Hi, my name is Whitney Ho, and for this week's film analysis, we watched Taking Root, The Vision of Wangari Maathai. This documentary shares the story of Wangari Maathai and her fight for the environment, her fight for human rights, and her fight for democracy in Kenya. Her activism won her a Nobel Peace Prize in 2004. A concept that stood out to me was the way she taught members of the Green Belt movement to stand up for themselves. She said to treat the chief with respect and question him when he asks why they should not plant trees. She also said that you should move and have the wisdom of a serpent, but have the gentleness of a dove. Maathai explains that the Green Belt movement goes beyond just planting trees. It's allowing people of the community to stand up and protect themselves, to know their rights, the environmental rights, and also women's rights. A second concept that stood out to me was Wangari's fight for democracy. People were being denied basic rights and fundamentals. Wangari stepped up and questioned the government and their policies. She brought the mothers of the men who were incarcerated for being activists. They explained to the Attorney General that it was time for these men to be released, however, they were met with false promises. Wangari and the mothers and a few other supporters then protested by waiting at Freedom Corner, and they said they would sit there until their sons were released. People began to join, and it was the first time that people felt courageous enough to stand up and admit the torture that the government had put them through. This peaceful protest ultimately led to the government attacking them. What I liked about this documentary was the stories and experiences this film shared. Leah Kasomo explained that the land was beautiful with large native trees, and that when the Europeans came, the population grew and trees and landscapes were being cut down to build room for farms. The streams had gone with the trees, and there were no more water left. The stories that the mothers shared were inspiring. The mothers explained that when the police began to attack them, they would strip down naked and fight the police. Wangari explained that in African tradition, any woman that was your mother's age should be treated with respect, the same way you would respect your mother. If men beat women, they would be cursed by the women, and the women would curse them by showing them their nakedness. Another thing I learned from this film was that Wangari Maathai was the first woman in East Africa to earn a PhD. She was also the first woman to a chair department at the University of Nairobi, and also the first environmentalist to earn a Nobel Peace Prize.